Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be a match between Castro and JangHyung here on Fighting Spirit. Top right, the Peruvian Zerg. He is red today. It is Castro. He passed away recently. I just like to honor him by showing how good he was at StarCraft. And in the top left, we have a blue Terran player. It is JangHyung, who, according to Wikipedia and Castro Muse, is a professional Korean player who plays Brood War and StarCraft 2. So, we'll see how good he is at Brood War here today against Castro. Anyway, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. It is time for my monthly Carbot cast. Those of you who request Carbot casts, you're welcome. And those of you who hate Carbot, it's just once a month, and I think you can handle it. I'm a Korea semi-pro gamer. Oh, he's modest. JangHyung is. I'm in Peru, and I'm a pro, says Castro. Ooh, wow, says JangHyung. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic here or not. What's your name? Castro's like, but it's right here, dude. It's Castro. Too macho, which again, I don't speak Spanish, but I think that just means you're macho. Crikey, mate. Is he going 9 pool here? He has 9 pooling. 9 pooling. 9 pool extractor trick, aggressive opening from Castro here. And scouting. He's going to go for some early link pressure for sure. And look who's not walling off. Look who's putting the barracks just in the middle of his base here. He's going to have to pull some SCVs and put some Marines at the top of the ramp as soon as possible here, because this is going to be some early link pressure for sure. Dang, Castro. He's not even getting... Yeah, there's not an extractor here. There is no sign of an expansion either. This is definitely a super aggressive opening for this game. I'm really surprised by this. But it's a 2 racks opening from JangHyung. All right. This is going to counter this beautifully. 2 racks versus a 9 pool is extremely good for the Terran. He might have to pull some SCVs to kind of help him a little bit in this early stage, but he's going to be able to pump out 2 Marines at a time constantly against the Lings that are slow and they suck, especially coming up ramps that are blocked by SCV little bodies. So the thing is, JangHyung is not scouting at all, but you know, if you open 2 racks, you don't really have to scout all that much. Okay, so he's sending an SCV across. Is he going to go the right way to see these Lings is the question of the day. And those of you who don't know, this is Carbot. Carbot's skin was commissioned by Blizzard to make a, kind of a cartoony style skin for Brood War. And Carbot, who has a YouTube channel, is only too happy to oblige. It's great. I really like it a lot. Okay, so he sees it, and he doesn't actually pull this Marine back, which I find incredibly problematic. Where are the SCVs? Dude, JangHyung is not doing this well. So that Marine dies, but again, good news is he's got a Marine pinned between 2 barracks. Hard for the Lings to kill this guy. Oh, now 2 Marines are out with the SCV. Yeah, great body blocking there. It probably is too many. Honestly, probably too many SCVs got pulled there. But better that than dead, I guess. It still hurts. It still hurts your income to do that. But JangHyung responds a little bit late. But again, the 2 racks helps him. Look at all the Marines he has instead of just 2 or 3. He's got a full 5 here, including, there's one that died here earlier too. So, all right. So macro hatch, no sign of gas coming in from Castro. SCV checking to see is there any kind of a weird quick third base here. No, but Castro has his natural now with the pink creep, kind of a pinkish purplish. Yeah, if you haven't watched any Carbot videos, you really honestly should. He's really talented. He's really funny. He does, kind of shorter cartoon parody videos for StarCraft, for World of Warcraft, for Diablo. I mean, if you love any of the Blizzard properties, Castro or Carbot, a good place to go. If you just search Carbot StarCraft on YouTube, you'll find his stuff. But anywho, SCV scouts in, sees, all right, we are taking gas. We do have a macro hatch on the way, so there's not going to be any kind of a super mega ultra Ling flood at all. And actually, maybe a little bit greedy here from Castro. This is good stuff. This is really, really good stuff. He's like, hey, you're not actually making Zerglings, and you don't have speed, and this is what the Sunkens are for. So traditionally it's 3 Sunkens, but that's when the Marines, have stim or have a couple medics with them. If it's just a handful of entirely unupgraded Marines, they don't have stim yet, they don't have any medics or firebats with them at all, then 2 Sunkens should be enough, but sure, 3 just for good measure here. And just checking to make sure, is there any sign of a third base that we can shut down here? Because we're going to try to kill this. There is no No expansion here from JangHyung in response. The 2 racks. He was planning on being aggressive the whole time. The early Ling attack did nothing to dissuade him of this plan. The problem is now there's 3 Sunkens, and even though there are some medics coming, there's 1 medic on the way. Oh, never mind. There's 2 that are here already, using the little hearts to heal up. Very adorable. And wow, look at this drone pull. He's like, I need to do something here because this is pretty darn aggressive, but the Sunkens are doing great. The Sunkens are beautiful in this situation, absolutely shutting it down. Yeah, 3 Sunkens is the magic number here, Zerg players. I mean, it's a lot of dead drones here for Castro. He's down to 18, but he could afford to do it because, again, the expansion just got started. Here from JangHyung, he's only got 19 workers back home, which is pretty much oversaturation of this base. Not really. It's fairly ideally saturated. Now that I take a closer look at it, some more Lings are in production here. Metabolic boost is just about done, which is going to be really, really useful in this situation. And yeah, if you have enough Lings, you can actually jump on this and kill this. There are only 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 Marines here. I guess, again, we have the 2 barracks, so we're using them. Still pumping Marines. And yeah, the Speedlings say, we can do this. Like, I'm really not worried about these Marines, and maybe you should be. The reinforcements actually helping there. And the Lings can't quite clean it up because of the Marines that came from across the other side of the map. The 2 racks are not staying quiet here. I like it. I like this from JangHyung. He's working on range upgrade for the Marines. He's already got the stim. He's got the medics. They're already pretty good units. And we're officially 2 base to 2 base now. So Castro needs to take a 3rd, but I don't know how he does it without Lurkers. Or I guess Mutalisks, fine. Spire's on the way. I guess it wasn't a Spire opening, so I was like, maybe we're just going to go straight for Lurkers, but nope. Definitely going for those Mutalisks. Castro's pretty good with Mutas. I'm not going to complain about his ability to use Mutalisks in these situations. Yep, there's your second gas because you want Mutalisks. I don't know how this timing works out. He canceled the Spire and threw down a Hydralisk Den. Did he get that scanned? I heard a scan. He was like, hey, why don't you prepare for Mutalisks by building a ton of missile turrets? And then I'll just show up with a ton of Hydras and Lings and try to kill you that way. How's that sound? Because we are making turrets. Oh, the fake out. The fake out is amazing here from Castro. I mean, that Spire was almost completely, look at that, Lurker aspect immediately starts up. He's going for, Ventral Sacks. He's getting Transport. He's getting Dropper Lords. So, I don't know, the missile turrets might actually help if we're dropping Lurkers into the main base of JangHyung here. Yeah, this is, I mean, Castro needs to get some damage done. And there's a clock ticking right now. The longer we're 2 base to 2 base, the worse it is for our Zerg hero. Again, I only say he's the hero because we know Castro much better than we know JangHyung. I've catched a bunch of his games. Again, he did pass away fairly recently. I don't know if I'll remember to do this, but if you want to know, I can link you to a Wikipedia article that talks about it. Again, just always sad when the StarCraft community loses somebody, but Castro seemed like a pretty cool dude. And again, the South American scene is really strong too. A couple SCVs down. I don't know why there are SCVs running out here anyway. To be honest with you, is he man, this would be a heck of a sneaky 3rd base. It is right next door to JangHyung. If you take this and JangHyung doesn't find it, I'm going to award you a gold star. Dang, Castro. All right, so we're still moving out. The Lings are trying to buy some time for Lurker aspect to finish. It's very close to being done. And there's a handful of Hydras here. There we go. It's done now. Lurker's morphing in. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 1. And he scans. I don't know if he could see that. Nope, he can't see the Lurker eggs. Oh, he sees that one with the scan. Oh, the scan lasts a little bit longer than I expected. Why are we down here? I guess he's assuming there's a 3rd base somewhere. Oh. If he puts the Lurkers at the top of this ramp, then JangHyung's going to think there's a base here. But no, it's over here. I can't believe Castro's trying this. What a cheeky lad. What an absolute madman trying this over here. He's like, I need a 3rd base. I need somewhere that JangHyung's not going to expect. I think that works out. I'm going to try to trick you. Oh, the split. Oh, that's beautiful from JangHyung. Oh my gosh, that's good stuff. The Lurkers. Oh, dying. Some Spines are getting some good work out here, but oh, that's 3 Lurkers down. But a lot of Marines dead as well. I mean, I don't think that was a good trade for Castro, but he's chasing JangHyung back pretty extensively here. He's got science vessels. He's getting additional starports. Does he have a radiate researched? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so the Lurker contain is real right now. It's hard getting out of this unless you have tanks or unless you have a radiate. So we're working on, I don't know, one of those things with the science vessels at least. Throwing up bunkers to deal with this. Okay. God, that is so hard to walk into if you just have Marines. That is a brutal, brutal contain here. Castro's only at 31 workers to make this happen. He's really cutting economy at the moment. His third base is up, but he's got exactly one drone working on it. SCV checking to see, is there a base over here? Castro does actually expand. Oh, it's the SCV tried to block, but couldn't quite get the block off. Amazing stuff. More lurkers on the way. There's a radiate. So a radiate's coming in. You know, we have to, science vessels get produced first because they need some time to get enough energy to throw down a radiate anyway. So that's fine. And is this lurker drops? This is lurker drops. Well, one. One overlord with lurkers in it. Other ones seem to be distractions of some kind. Decoys, I believe is the word I was going for there. So is he going to try this? Oh, he's dropping some lings in. Some okay, so a bunch of lings. And exactly 2 lurkers. So, alright, so the lurkers just burrow in indiscriminately wherever they happen to be here. They're going to kill, I don't know, some supply depots maybe. We're just unloading. Oh, that decoy overlord did a fantastic job. Such a good job. So that supply depot is probably going to die. Defensive matrix is up. Trying to get up here and get rid of these lurkers. The defensive matrix is such a cool animation in Carbot. I love it. And yeah, so both lurkers die. I mean, what was that? A supply depot and a missile turret went down. I don't think that was worth. He did actually drop down here too, though. Nice. Pretty nice. But lurkers die. Still 48 SCVs. A few Marines gave their lives for the cause, but I think that's fine. Not worried about it if I'm JangHyung. What I am worried about is the fact that Castro now has 4 bases, including 3 extractors, which is amazing, and I don't have a 3rd base yet. So JangHyung has been contained. He really just needs to start irradiating down these lurkers at the front. I don't know. I guess this one doesn't have enough energy yet, but the other one does. Might as well get it started. Also, siege tanks would be amazing here. He's not making any at all. He's just going for the, 6-8 racks Marine science vessel play that is so popular in this matchup that every time it happens in the comments, people are like, why didn't they just go a million siege tanks? And it's a fair question every time. Missile attack upgrade coming in. Wait, what? Oh, that's what missile attack looks like. I don't... Oh, it's the spines. Okay, I was looking at it from the wrong angle. Anywho, this is so many lurkers. Like, sure, you can irradiate, what, 4 of them here? 3 of them here? But there are still 8. There are still... 9. There are still 9 of them here. More irradiates are coming in. That is a ton of lurkers invested in there for Castro. He's using it to buy time to saturate, right? He's up to 45 workers now. He is working on upgrades for his lurkers. He's getting a Spire now. Obviously going to be Scourge. Oh, Irradiator and Overlord. What's funny is when you play against the AI in Brood War, the enemy science vessels love irradiating overlords. I don't know what it is. Like, they will irradiate defilers and stuff, but like, they won't really irradiate lurkers all that much. They don't irradiate, the dangerous ultralisks all that much. It's overlords. They will irradiate overlords first up. I don't know why they were coded that way, but it always weirds me out. Yeah, so another lurker dead here. Exploding. So, who do we think is ahead right now? I mean, getting out of here is going to be tricky. Holy crap! We're just making 11 lurkers right now. Don't mind us. We're just making 11 lurkers. By the way, he did scout this base exists with a science vessel earlier, or science facility earlier. So, he's just irradiating his way out of here. The lurkers are like, guess what? There are too many of us, suckers. You build some tanks if you want to come out here. I think that's what the messaging is right now. He's like, you can't do this with your typical Marine science vessel strategy. Again, you can irradiate us all you want, but it's too slow. You're not getting a third base in the meantime. I've got 4 bases rolling. I'm getting a 4th extractor. Taking up to Ultralisks during this time would be amazing. A Queen's Nest is coming in for Castro. It is, in fairness, a lot of dead Lurkers, basically for free. Energy doesn't cost anything. Listen to all that. Listen to all that. It is so many Marines, though. Look at all these guys just hanging out. This is not great. Okay, so I got dropships. That's good. If you're a Terran just sitting at home on 2 bases at 15 or 20 minutes, you're probably going to lose the game. So he is going to move out and say, I'm going to take a wild guess. You don't have a ton of defense back home. I guess that's a bunch of Hydras. So unloading outside of the containment area. I like this very much. The Hydras have 1-1 upgrades. The Marines have 2-2 upgrades. Hydroling going to do actually pretty fine here. They don't have Adrenal because we don't have a Hive yet. Actually, did the Marines win this? No, but just barely. Dang, only 2 Hydras survived that engagement. I'm surprised by this. He's doing a good job just not, like, suiciding. Oh, dropship down. Another dropship. That is a dead dropship. Oh, hang on, hang on. Marines unloading to defend their ride. Ooh, he just scourged down that science facility for it to die. You only have 1 sunken at this base. Come save it, Hydra Lurker play. Focusing down. Beautiful job here. Focusing down. Ye old hatchery. Oh, he upgraded it. He temporarily upgraded it to a lair to try to save it. Okay, so the Lurkers burrow in. Unloading here seems like a terrible idea. Wow. Alright, that completely shuts down that attack, but the 3rd hatch is dead anyway. 5th base is actually done for Castro now, too. So this is a very, very interesting game. God, still trying to get out here is just a chore and a half. It's a lot of dead Marines with 1-1 Lurkers. Finally, we break out. We break out of our containment. Wings and Hydras trying to jump on top of this, and oh, the Lurker focusing there is beautiful by JangHyung. Amazing stuff there. All right, but he needs to move out. He needs to start killing more bases. All right, so these drones are like, this is too dangerous. Too hard to hold this. We're just going to transfer the drones down to the 5th base. And I guess it's the new 3rd, because I don't know the 3rd's ever coming back based on where it's located at the moment. So JangHyung just doing, again, the standard, all the Marines in the world with the 1,000,000 science vessels. Let's try to win that way. Medics, maybe some fire bats if your opponent's going for a lot of lings, but it's definitely Hydro Lurker, so fire bat's not going to be as good. There's a lot of science vessels. Holy crap. He's done a great job keeping them alive. I don't know that I've heard any of them die in this game, which is impressive. Actually irradiating individual Hydras, killing off the Hydras that are irradiated because they have a death sentence anyway. It is just a ton of Hydras. What an interesting strategy here from Castro. Just 1,000,000 Hydralisks with some Lurker support. He's not going Lings. He's not going Ultras. It's just pure Hydra Lurker, which we've seen done in Control as somebody who's done this a whole bunch. And maybe Castro is inspired by him, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. But yeah, we've seen Hydra Lurker work against Protoss more often, but we have definitely seen it attempted against Terran as well. The problem is, the longer the game goes on, the less viable this Hydro Lurker stuff is. It's just the upgrades don't scale as good for them as they do for Marines. 3-3 Marines with Stim and Medic support are going to tear through Hydras. The Lurkers, again, are going to help offset that discrepancy for sure. So that's why this is not just pure Hydra. What do we think this is? ZVP. Oh, actually did retake the 3rd. I didn't think Castro would rebuild this ever. But again, maybe doing the unexpected is the smart thing here. I don't know. Engineering bay down. But Defiler's on the way. Consume's coming in here too. I assume it's Plague in this situation. Although Dark Swarm would be amazing as well. And he's going to try to float. Oh, don't Scourge. Oh, he's trying to save the Scourge so they don't just fly meaninglessly into that command center. But nope, they're toast. These Hydras are going to chase that away pretty effectively, that's for sure. But yeah, look at this. Just mass Hydra Lurker. Got the 2-2 upgrades. Sending off the irradiated Hydras to die in Siberia. And there's our Plague. All right, so Dark Swarm. Again, Marines are helpless in the face of Dark Swarm. If you want to walk a bunch of Dark Swarms up to the front door, the Marines can't do jack about it. The only thing that helps here is the irradiates from the science vessels, which is always, you know, good. Never bad. Another Dark Swarm here would be really good if it's super late. Oh, then he... Okay. So, zoning tool right now, right? A good Terran player is not going to allow himself to get stuck in here with some Lurkers. So it just forces the Terran elsewhere when you throw up the Dark Swarm like this. So the best way to use Dark Swarm against a good player is against one of their bases, right? Can you Dark Swarm this area, get Lurkers in there? Dark Swarm this area, get Lurkers in there. It's going to be a lot more difficult for JangHyung to deal with as opposed to, you know, Dark Swarm in the middle of the map where he just goes elsewhere. I still can't believe that Castro retook this base. I guess he likes it. He's not going to complain about it anyway. This is an interesting attack. This is a lot of Sunkens. But yeah, third base happily running for JangHyung, which he needed. He really did. It's 142 to 121 supply right now. It is very close, I'm going to argue. I'm going to argue it's extremely close. Just because the number of bases is definitely favoring Castro. A couple really good plagues would be... Oh, gets the Plague Ooh off! As he's dying. That was some incredible timing from ye old Defiler. So the Plague makes it hard. Hydra, just straight up Hydra versus... Oh, it's another great Plague. Ooh! Oh, it means you're basically one-shotting these Marines, but man, their damage output is still pretty scary. He's got 1 kill already. Oh, get 2 kills. You know, you pick off the little red ones. It's not bad. Production tab is empty for JangHyung, which is a problem. He's got 1,000 minerals and 2,000 gas and not producing anything right now. So struggling a bit. Lurkers do manage to get up here and burrow behind this third base mineral line. All of them get wiped out. These Marines are putting their lives on the line to save these bases. And they're doing a great job with it for sure. Absolutely fantastic. Like, the response to the Lurker stuff's been really good from JangHyung today. He is making, there we go, back to Marine production, back to Science Vessel production, making another factory. Lurker's getting some kills, but also getting wiped out by the irradiates here. And a nice drop, bottom right. Castro's trying to expand down here for a 6th base. And, well, it's not going to go super well for the Zerg player, let's just say that much. This is a little bit harder to dig out than a couple Lurkers. It's a bigger investment for the Terran player, that's for sure. Science facility going to die again. Nice Plague Ooh once more. These aren't even Plague Science Vessels. They're just... Maybe some of them are, but like the Hydras are just eating them down regardless. And, oh, Castro pushing. It's even supply, which is not great for the Terran player. Oh, the snipes on the science vessels are so sick. SCV's running for their... Or what are they doing down here? I guess they're just trying to set up a home. But yeah, holds off the Zerg attack coming into the front door. Another engineering bay, probably going to die. These guys on the high ground could maybe jump down here, but that's a lot of Sunkens you have to contend with. And spores. Long distance mining from SCVs. Good. Very, very good indeed. What an unorthodox strategy here out of Castro. Ling, Lurker, Hydra, of course with Defiler support, because you're not going to beat a Terran like this without Defiler support. It's just impossible. How's the healing going here? Alright, so these Hydras kind of backed into a corner. It looks like Castro wanted to expand down here, but this is a lot of army to try to shut that down. I mean, this is turning into One heck of a match. Nice engagement coming in here to the 12 o'clock base. Gets the Dark Swarm up, gets the Lurkers in there. Full evacuation. And suddenly JangHyung's in a tough position. Losing this base is something he cannot really afford to do. Tank production has begun. However, one siege tank not going to do particularly well here. Although just chase away the Hydralisks so the third base doesn't die entirely, which is nice. These Marines are dead, and do they know it? Some of them knew it and are retreating for safety for sure. Siege tank sieging up, firing away. Gonna drop on this right side 3 o'clock base of Castro's. This is his 4th, and doing all right. This is a bunch of dead drones. I mean, okay, eventually it's not gonna work out for you, but JangHyung trying to build a 4th base down here at the 6 o'clock-ish position. This bottom left spawn's natural, but his 12 o'clock is just completely gone. He hasn't been able to save it. The siege tank, like, moving up a little bit would be nice. Tossing down a scan, maybe bringing a science vessel over, but are we just out of those? Did he not replace his science vessels? He did. Well, he's working on it. He's got a couple over here. They're just not at the 12 o'clock helping at all, which would be useful, I think. Yeah, just constantly irradiating Hydralisks. God, just sniping your own friends in the name of the greater good. Legu! Over all of the science vessels. Fantastic. This is a good match. This is turning into quite a good back and forth. 122 to 114 total supply in favor of Castro. But this 4th base is in a lot of trouble. We have 3-3. The 3 attack for the Hydras is done. Yeah, but this hatch is dead. So 2nd hatch, 3rd hatch killed today by JangHyung. This 3rd base being alive for JangHyung is incredibly important for him right now. Insanely so. Are we making tanks? Are we doing the old hallowed transition into 1,000,000 siege tanks in ZVT? JangHyung maybe kind of going for it here. I mean, this is scrappy. No one's maxed out. JangHyung's burned through his bank. His mineral count's at 144 at the moment. The tanks are the answer to these Hydras. I mean, if you have enough of them. If it's a couple tanks, then no, absolutely not. But once you start getting, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks, it gets really hard. Why would you help the SCVs in this battle? What a weird choice that was. I guess, okay, we're just going to Lurker them all. Castro has a bunch of money for that reason as well. These SCVs fighting against Lurker eggs inside the Dark Swarm. Not something you see every day. I'm going to say it. Very, very rare occurrence. So does the Dark Swarm expire before the Lurker eggs are hatched? Ah, secondary Dark Swarm. Insurance. Get out of there, SCVs. Lurkers burrow in. Getting some spinies on down. SCVs just absolutely getting massacred here, which is not ideal. There's your irradiates getting tossed down at the same time, though. So, alright, so these Lurkers should all be dead fairly soon. This is the one source of income that exists right now for JangHyung. He needs to save this base. But these SCVs got plagued, which means they're so easy for the Hydralisks to kill. At least the ones that have been plagued. The other one's not as easy, it turns out. Wow. Look at him kill. Okay, good snipe there. Beautiful snipe there. Down at 22 SCVs for JangHyung. I think Castro's got this thing. It's 120 to 67 supply. The fact that he was never able to retake his 12 o'clock, and the fact that he's not happily mining at this base down here at the 6 o'clock either is terrible, and this bottom left is just not happening at the same time, and the tank count not great enough. 3 tanks? No, not really good enough to deal with these Hydralisks, especially since the upgrades are not going to be there for the tanks based on how many Marines we've been making today. He's not been focusing on mech upgrades whatsoever. So 3 Marines at a time. The masked science vessel is here, but look at Castro doing it. With Hydra Lurker, he can 9-pool ya, but he can also take you into the late game with Hydra Lurker Defiler. A little bit of Ling support. Oh, jeez. Ah, blah, blah, blah. Snipe, snipe, snipe. Not repairing your science vessels leaves them open to this occurrence happening. Pow. Ah, another disgusting plague all over these poor Marines. They've been strawberry jellied. Here in the Carbot skin, standing in, fighting hard. SCVs pulled to body block as well. Not quite able to pull it off. Too much plague, and that's a GG. That is a GG. JangHyung taps out Castro. GG's 2. Wants to stick around and kill everything that JangHyung held dear to his heart, so that he can, I don't know, increase his total score or something. Castro's amped after that win. Look at this. We usually never see professionals stick in the game like this. So that was a Korean that I beat. Oh, yeah. Feeling good. Overlord, just, checking to see what was going on up here. How many barracks existed for JangHyung. It goes to turn off the music because it's not, it's not crazy intense anymore. But that was a good back and forth game. Absolutely. But I think what really sealed JangHyung's fate to a certain extent was being stuck on 2 bases for so long when Castro was on 4. And sure, the 3rd base ran for some time, which was fantastic. But then it got killed and never retaken, which I feel like it could have been. There was like a Defiler and a Lurker here, maybe a Hydralisk as well. But yeah, trying to expand down here was a little bit too hard. Just the production here from Castro was insane. He retook his bottom right base. He's retaking this 3 o'clock that died. I mean, yeah, Castro just had a better grasp on this game. Just an overall more talented player. And ended up getting the win with the Hydra Lurker strategies. With, again, Defiler support against the multi-racks Terran play. So, 222,000 points for Castro, 180,000 points for JangHyung. We got 577 units produced at 365, which that's a pretty impressive number to produce if you're making Hydralisks against someone who's making Marines. That's actually really impressive. The macro out of Castro. Killed, about the same on the units, but see, when you outproduce your opponent by 200, you can afford to have the same number of killed units, and you'll be fine. Structures raised, 16 raised by Castro, or 8 raised by JangHyung, which is pretty good against a third player, and this is just disgusting. The gas, minerals, and total spend is hugely in favor of Castro there. Just goes to show how much of a macro advantage he had, and again, what an absolute boss. An absolute boss he is. So, great job by Castro, taking down, the Korean semi-professional JangHyung here. Not a bad player, JangHyung, but, couple situations, right? Couple situations where we saw him not really replacing science vessels quickly. His production tab was empty for a couple minutes at a time there, and that just doesn't really work out in the end, All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So that right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Carbot skinned game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.